We hear you saying, yeah, that's all well and good, but life sucks a bit right now, or it's been hard, or I've been challenged immensely, or my body has no energy, or I'm struggling in my marriage, or my family doesn't understand me, or I have no friends, or whatever version you've decided to express of the last gasp of Homo sapiens life. It's the last gasp. It's the Homo sapiens fear-based paradigm saying, hang on a minute, we can be loud and show you how life is. We can confuse you about your clarity. We can take away your vision. We can distort your perspective. All in a last-ditch effort to keep you from changing, to keep you from becoming something other than the path that you're walking. There's this last-ditch effort by the survival instinct, for lack of a better term, to say, wait, change might be just too terrifying. Change might just be more than can be handled. So what does the survival instinct do? What does the desire to stay the same do? It throws up something incredibly uncomfortable. Now, it's sort of amusing because, oh yeah, I want to stay the way I was because it's incredibly uncomfortable. But the little mind trip that happens is it says, oh, it's not really the way it's always been that's the problem. It's what you're trying to do that's the problem. But interestingly enough, it's what you're trying to do is that gets you out of the mind trip that habit is clawing its way towards you. Now, you all know this is how it works because it's worked this way so many other times. You start to get clear on something and then boom, you get a big upset. You start to think about leaving a job, boom, you get a big upset. You even start to think about dating a new guy and the old boyfriend's call. And you think, what? I'm moving on. Well, no, knock, knock, knock. Are you sure? Are you sure you're moving on? The way you have this in your culture is it's always darkest before the dawn, right? That's your wisdom enmeshed in your culture. It's always darkest before the dawn. Well, many of you are experiencing it's only darkest before the dawn period right now. And really it's an opportunity to further commit toward transformation, further commit toward, yes, I really want my life to move into the consciousness-based operating system as the default position. Because that's really what we're running up against now. Where is the default position going to be? Is the default position going to be the fear-based operating system that then you constantly have to correct, change, transform, shift, as in react to? Or is the default position going to be the consciousness-based operating system where you experience the world from a new perspective? You experience the world from a non-duality place. You experience the world from a place not of judgment, but of preferences and boundaries with consequences. That's really the big question. And the body, because it's the last to get these things, is finally being engaged on this level. And as it's engaged on this level, it's screaming. And you know, when we talk about bringing the body into the now, we have to bring the survival instinct. And that's part of what's been going on for all of you, is you're evolving the survival instinct, and it is going kicking and screaming because it has been enmeshed in every lifetime, in your DNA, in your biology, all this time, doing a very, very fine job of keeping you alive. And you're saying, I want to change how you work. And it's saying, wait a second, this has been the last place, the bottom line, the lowest common denominator, whatever you want to call it. The survival instinct has been the place where the rubber meets the road, and you're saying, I want to change that? This is a big, big change. This isn't a small change. This is a big, big change. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to mess around with this layer? It's a bit like on your computer, you know, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. But if you start getting deep into the operating system, it asks you, are you sure you really want to mess around with this? Because we're not sure you know what you're doing, right? But in the sense of you moving out of the fear-based operating system into the consciousness-based operating system, we know you know what you're doing. And that is the vision we hold of you. The vision we hold of you is that you can change the way your survival instinct operates in your physical life. You can evolve it, and we hold the vision of you living from that evolved position. We like to see you living that place, mostly because of how it looks. And we don't mean looks by colors or cloth or any of that kind of looks. We mean looks as in energetically. Energetically, when you start living from that position, it looks like, what did we say? Sails instead of anchors. Because habit is like an anchor hanging off the side of your boat, holding you back, holding you back, holding you back, holding you back, slowing you down, dragging along the bottom, picking up the muck, getting hung up on things and stalling your progress, making you spin in circles. And you start cutting loose those anchors or pulling them up and using them for something else, transforming those anchors, those habits. And then all of a sudden you have consciousness, and when consciousness blooms, it's like a new sail on your ship. The next thing you know, wow, you're moving along at a pretty nice clip, and it's prettier. It's all well and good to have one anchor, because every once in a while you want to stop. But sails are much more attractive. And energetically, the way that looks is so beautiful to see. You can imagine a boat with those full sails catching the wind. And that's how energetically, when you all start coming from the consciousness-based operating system, it's like those full sails catching the wind. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it opens you to the truth of you. It opens you to, it's constantly expanding, constantly billowing, constantly filling, and giving you more and more and more and more and more. So every time you find yourself thinking about a habit or thinking about reacting habitually, we would invite you to just vision that as an anchor. Now, it's all well and good to examine what you're habitual about and then decide to be different about it. If you're habitual for a purpose, well, you can be conscious about that habituated state and still get the same accomplishment without having that anchor energy attached to it. For instance, you lock your front door. All right, it's probably prudent to lock your front door. Do you lock your front door out of habit, or do you lock your front door with consciousness? One's going to give you an anchor, the other's going to put wind in your sails. As tender with yourself as possible. That's the first step. As tender as yourself as possible. And again, checking in with your body. What's my left big toe doing? What's my right elbow doing? What's my left knee doing? This is going to bring you into the moment, and it's going to bring you into the moment with the focus on your body. And so your body can then ask for what it wants, or you can become aware of ways to be gentle. All right? So, checking in with your body. Just walking down the street. What's my right knee doing? Asking. Don't wait until your knee screams with pain to check in to see how it is. Asking, asking, asking. Being gentle with yourselves. Paying attention to what your body is doing, needing, being. Finding ways to be tender to yourself. You know, we could think of all kinds of things to do. Excuse us, but primarily things that you find make you feel loved. You find make you feel appreciated. You know, that thing that you would buy a gift certificate for somebody else to get. Well, just go buy yourself a damn gift certificate for that. Right? Oh, I bet so-and-so would love a massage. Well, we bet you'd love a massage. When's the last time you went and got a spa? When's the last time you bought yourself something pretty? When's the last time you had a bubble bath? Right? Whatever it is your kick, you know, whatever your kick is that you think is cool and makes you feel loved, give it to yourself. And while you're doing that, be in the moment with it and watch whatever comes up that tells you it's not okay to be doing what you're doing.